guys, I guess happy
Halloween, fuckface.
Yeah, like happy November 1st. I don't know.
Happy election day. Woo!
Yeah, happy. Your neighbors aren't gonna shut the fuck up depending on who they voted for that day.
The point is, there's a lot of shit in the news right now. Like, there's the election. Yeah. I wanted to talk about,
more
that
importantly,
but more
Nintendo has released a music app. This shit is anchor time fucking news. Prime time.
No, it is.
I could give a fuck who sits in the fucking chair. I could give a fuck. What I do care is seeing my nostalgia 8-bit, 16-bit, maybe even 32-bit music on an app that'll probably crash as soon as I even press play.
No, it won't, because I've used it already.
Okay.
And I've been using it today, and it has. If you've been living under Dwayne Johnson, basically, yeah, like Dennis put it best, Nintendo released a music app for their music, and the thoughts on it seem to be mostly positive. I've seen some mixed things before about it, but the thing is, like, if you've been living under a Dwayne Johnson or any other types of rocks, can you stop? That's like it's really distracting, big boy. He's like furiously jerking it in front of me. He's got his shirt off.
Guys, you have no idea how happy I am that Nintendo finally released a music app. I could finally listen to copyrighted music. Well, I guess technically for free, but yeah,
people have been begging them to do this for years, and we all know Nintendo. When it comes to protecting their IPs, they're very overprotective. They're a little scummy when it comes to that
type of protection.
Seal a team of 6, and we all remember when they shut down Gilvasunner. That was the biggest one. Gilvasunner was like the Nintendo gaming YouTuber, so much to the point where it spawned a parody called Silva Gunner, where it creates just meme versions, like using the sound fonts, or we're using the sound bites and of like popular video games and stuff, and that's still around ever since the 7 Granddad memes. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But Gilvasunner got shut down. They just shut down another one, and it's just crazy to see, because one thing people have been saying is Nintendo should make their own music app. If they're this hell-bent on having us not listen to their music illegally, quote-unquote, or they just don't like their shit being uploaded on, like, YouTube and stuff. And it's a very Stockholm Syndrome-y opinion when you really get right down to it, in saying, like, okay, Nintendo's not going to give us this, they should do this. When we know that this is already not the best thing to do. You could just not even have to fucking pay, server fees to host your own app, and instead could use the free fucking advertising that your video game is getting by having the soundtracks uploaded on there. It doesn't make people not want to play the game.
Or even have vinyls for them.
Yeah,
like,
but
fucking nerds will buy that shit. Like, I mean, and I say this affectionately, guys. I say this affectionately. I don't get vinyls. I know a lot of people really like them. I don't know why, but like some people just really fucking like vinyls. So it's like, hey, like there is a market for them at the very least. But it's like, even like some artists even now, like they still got fans buying like their CDs. Mostly K-pop artists, like they have a lot of fans that will buy their CDs because there's like always some special thing inside, like a Cracker Jack fucking like literally a bag of Cracker Jack. Like, there's always something in there that like it's a collector sort of thing. And I mean, in the case of like, Nintendo, like I don't know how many fucking years it took for them to actually take their fan base's advice, but lo and behold, in the year of our Lord, 2024, what was it? Yesterday, right?
Yeah,
like October 30th, in the year of our Lord 2024, after death of Christ, Nintendo finally decided, maybe the fans are onto something. And they, like took like them 2 seconds to make their own Spotify ripoff of, of classic Nintendo games music. So,
it's the most simultaneously about frickin' time Nintendo and what's the point Nintendo announcement ever.
Wait.
Nintendo is the only company that would have their whole fucking next gen hardware leaked, and they responded with a music app and an alarm clock.
Let me add to that, because I do agree. Because for one, I still think this Switch Online membership It's not fucking worth it. I really still fucking stand by that. Even
Well, is
though
it worth it now?
also,
Because what do you need to use the Nintendo Music app? You can just download it and listen to the music, right? Right, Dennis? You can just download it and listen to the music? No, you need a Switch Online membership.
Yeah, you do.
That's the gist I'm fucking making, in case that wasn't obvious to you guys at home.
We're really tired. We're not exactly
sense.
Our most clever selves. Like
it makes sense for them to do, and quite frankly, it's justified since Nintendo is so anal about their IPs that they're not even willing to put their fucking music on other apps. So to pay the server fees that they're going to need to run that app, because that's coming out of their pocket, it makes sense that at least they could take some of the Nintendo Switch Online money for it. But that doesn't mean it's still not the most fucking Nintendo thing to do ever, to just take this stuff and just put it on your own app. But in Stockholm Syndrome fashion, like I mentioned before, it is better than nothing. And now we have an app that runs in the background that you can use other apps over on your phone to be able to use this kind of thing. It doesn't have... we'll get into the nitty-gritty features later while I let Dennis make his point, but it's weird, you know? We've been wanting them to do this for years, and it feels a little bittersweet, but it feels more sweet than anything. I'm happy they did something, at least.
You know, it also makes me feel that this is definitely like a sign of like, yep, guys, the Nintendo Switch and its life cycle is coming to an end. And the guys at the board probably just were like thinking like, what's like some... Because honestly, this feels really throwaway, not gonna lie. Like, it feels like, almost an afterthought on their part. Like, I almost made it, because it was so unceremonious the way they announced it. It was just kind of like, hey, by the way, Nintendo Spotify.
Yeah, shit came out of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. Really. Like, literally there was no pomp of fanfare or anything. It wasn't even in like a fucking, Nintendo Direct or whatever. Like, it was just like, there you go, boom. Update your Switch and there you go. You can download our music app and you can listen to all the nostalgia songs that you want to. So, I think what I'm also getting at too is that like I do agree with David in the sense that like it's very much well, for one, yeah, it's about time. Because, like, we all been kind of saying it's like, look, if you're that fucking anal and if you're that, just protective of your IP and that, this also includes the music, okay, fine, fuck it. Like, they just make your own music app. And it's like, for me, when I heard the news, like, because literally David messaged me on Discord and I just found out, I'm just kind of like, oh. I just shrugged my shoulders. Like, I mean, like, for one, it's great that they are finally, like, taking their fan base's advice and, like, actually, like, they actually did it. But I don't know, like, there's like a certain level, for me at least, like, there's a certain level of like, okay, and like, it's because the only
it's like
thing,
now I can listen to Nintendo music on my smartphone.
Like, I can't listen to my YouTube compilations that I had, or like my YouTube playlists that, all had that music in there anyways. But now I almost feel like, I think maybe that ban hammer is probably going to be coming down even harder now for a lot of them, considering like, like this is like, they're almost like, I don't want to say like a casus belli or whatever, but it's just kind of like, they were already doing it before, but now I feel as if it's just going to be even like, coming down with even more strength, because like...
And more restrictions, by the way, too. Because it's not only like, oh, Nintendo, thanks, I was able to listen to this music on my smartphone before. Now, if they actually did use this as justification to shut down every channel, which many they already have, Acro Extensions, Yoshi VGM, I believe, Gilva Sunner, the biggest one, of course, is there a web version of this app where I can listen to this music? Or do I just need to listen to it on my fucking smartphone? Because if I'm at my computer editing the thumbnails for my podcast and I want to listen to Nintendo music... I don't want to have to plug in like a fucking like aux to fucking Type-C cable into my fucking like into like my phone. I'll just listen to it in a YouTube tab. The thing is, people are getting so excited for this because Nintendo glittery and glistening and shiny, and it's like nothing new. It's all shit we were able to do before, except now people are just okay with it. Again, Stockholm Syndrome, because Nintendo is showing us their doing it their own way, and now
It's because they got like their proverbial Apple sticker like slapped onto it. Because like, that's the reason why. Because like, truth be told, like there was one day where I was like, I was on Spotify. I was like, do they have any video game music? And like some like they do for certain games, like Devil May Cry and a few others. I think even the Sonic Frontier soundtrack is actually on there as well. But and then I looked up like there's that one theme. Or that one level music from Super Mario 64. It was in that water level. I forgot the fucking level's name. But
Dar Docks.
Yeah, it's like
Dar Docks and Jolly Roger Bay.
Yeah, like that one. I wanted to like kind of listen to it. It was like one of my favorite like tracks from the game when I was growing up. And lo and behold, they did not have it.
I was gonna say, here's the downside to it. This shit's gonna be gradual, right?
Yep.
And who the fuck knows what they're gonna add? If they're gonna be like adding things to this at the same fucking snail's pace that they've been adding classic games to, like, the Nintendo Switch Online memberships, then this thing's gonna suck.
Yeah, it's gonna suck. Yeah, it already kind of sucks. It sucks.
I went into it and it's very bare bones right now. Like, I'll even open it up to show you guys. I mean, I listened to some of the tracks on it already. Most of it is from, like, some of their modern titles. Like, they uploaded, like, the entire Mario Kart 8 Deluxe soundtrack already, which, of course, they gotta have to keep sucking that game off like it's its fucking birthday and bar mitzvah at the same fucking day. Because that is their number one selling game on the console to this day. It still is. Mm-hmm. So all of that music is, of course, still there. Let's take a quick little gander through this library. Alright. Some Mario Odyssey stuff. Stuff from Splatoon 3.
Anything Kirby's from 64?
Mario 64?
Yeah.
I don't believe so. Let's find out. Super
that is some bullshit.
Mario 64. No results match your search. Try a different search.
That is fucking bullshit.
Oh, by the way, we already copyright struck all the channels, so you can't listen to Mario 64 music at all until we decide to add it.
They do have...
Go fuck and kill yourself.
They do have Ocarina of Time, though. So, I mean...
Yeah, like, did they pick this shit out of a grab bag? Look at this. It's like Mario Odyssey. Mario
it's Kart like the
Deluxe.
Crumpled paper in the bag. It's like, all right, guys, everyone, we're going to pick 20. Just, go amongst yourselves and just pick one out.
It's like mostly the modern titles, but then some of the random ones like Kirby's Dream Land, and then the original Super Mario Brothers with the Wii
Mario's
channels
not a bad one.
For some reason, and Dr. Mario's not a bad one too. It's just the cool thing is that they will be adding to this gradually, but it depends on.
It's not a good lineup for the starting.
Like, what are they gonna add? Are they gonna add good stuff to this?
Put Nintendogs. Actually, I actually really like Nintendogs.
Yeah, Nintendogs was huge. Yeah.
Yeah. Never. I'm not gonna say anything. Nintendogs was as big as like Tamagotchi back in those days. Holy shit! Yeah. If you had a DS, everyone was just kind of like running around with those, with Nintendogs. I think even like a legit cartridge now is like actually money.
Yeah. The point is, this feels like a monkey's paw. It's like. We finally got what it's like, oh, Nintendo, please, we know how you are. Please give us like your own way of listening to your music so we'll actually have a way of listening to it and there won't be strife between us. Your wish is granted. And then the shit just curls. Monkey's paw curls, you know what I mean? Because who knows what they're going to do to this.
And then a lot of monkey's paw wishes that come true. Or it's either not what we thought it would be, or it turns out to be just incredibly disappointing.
Yep.
And this is like in that weird middle ground of like not what we expected, but also kind of disappointed. Because I'm gonna say this right now, that UI of theirs, if this article that I'm looking at is actually correct, this fucking UI. What past version of YouTube did you rip this from, Nintendo?
I mean, it's red. Like, it's Nintendo. The shit has to be red.
Yeah, I get that. But it's like, this looks like a fucking YouTube UI. It really does.
I mean, I guess.
Come on, David. This is not unique. Like,
I gotta be real. It looked more like red Spotify to me than reminding me of YouTube, if I'm being honest. It looked way more like YouTube Spotify dark mode. Dude, it looked so much like Spotify to the point where when I was trying to swipe through the playlist, I tried to swipe through the music, which you can't fucking do. You have to hit the actual next button like physically on like the tab. You can't just like swipe through like Tinder dates or like on Spotify or YouTube Music or whatever where you used to swipe to the next song. I literally thought it was Spotify for a minute, Dennis. So it reminded me way more of that than it did of YouTube, I suppose. But yeah, it's mostly modern titles. It's pretty bare bones so far. This could be great if they actually add more shit to it on a regular basis, but who knows if it'll just become like one of those like Switch Online things that they don't necessarily care about. The good things are, I will say, you can base playlists off of like things like characters. So if you remember like the song you want to listen to, but you don't remember exactly what game it's from, but it was like, oh, it was such a sick boss fight. There's a boss battle playlist or boss battle like playlist that they got right there. All sorts of different kind of stuff. There's extended playlists that they got. The top tracks, the characters, Boo, Wiggler, Bowser Jr., whatever. Top tracks, the boss battles one. There's like there's a victory theme playlist as well. And obviously you can star your own songs and make your own playlists. And I guess one really nifty feature that I can't even give Nintendo too much credit for making, but I will gotta give credit where credit is due on this one. It has a spoiler feature where if it's a game that you haven't played yet and you want to experience it for yourself and experience the music for yourself first before you go in, you can turn it off like before the game is out to make sure it doesn't show up in your app, as among other things, which is actually kind of cool because, well, for artists that don't overthink these things and don't have some sort of crazy over-the-top process for just linking their music to the world and instead just use the biggest fucking music distributors like Spotify and YouTube. I was browsing through my liked playlist today, which puts random songs on that are algorithmically chosen for me, and one of the songs that was chosen was the first level from Shadow Generations. And it just sort of played the music for me immediately before I wanted to hear it, frankly. And it was this weird, like, dubsteppy, like, heavy rock remix of Final Chase from Sonic Adventure 2. Ooh. And, you know, like, na 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 na. You remember that song? You'd recognize
I don't.
it. You'd recognize it if you heard it. But point is, it did that, and I started listening to it. But that just showed up. I didn't choose for that to happen. It just fucking did. At least on the Nintendo app, if it's a new game, while you want to listen to the old Nintendo music, there's no risk of having that happen, at least. Which, that's cool, at least, but it's... I can give them credit for that, but I also can't give them too much credit, because why would you need a spoiler functionality on any other music app? Because this one's specifically for video games. It's not like when you're on Spotify, like, oh, no spoilers for what?
Blackpink.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so it's like, Nintendo is really, really good at thinking up of things and workarounds and features that would only exist or work for them. They really do live in their own fucking little world, don't they?
That, and also if it's like, you know, you're about 3-4 years late, you know what I mean? Like, you know, we're not saying like, oh yeah, like, the music app is shit or whatever. Like, you know, I don't think it's shit. I just think like, you know,
you're out there, Chief.
Hey, let me preface this by saying, I wanted to talk about this more than the election.
Yeah.
Let me just preface that by, yeah, no, like, that's why I'm like, you know, I'm telling the audience right now, like, you know, I wanted to talk about this more than what is going on in the world and like in our neck of the woods, right? And I gotta say, even though this is like, I don't know, the reception for this thing was just so lukewarm. Like, it's kind of like, you know, there was a bunch of people in the background, like they were saying like, yay, you know, like finally I could listen to my Mario music, you know, on my phone, even though I already did that on YouTube. Now I have to pay what, $12.99 to be able to fucking listen to it.
It's $20
like,
a year.
Yeah, you go 20. Yeah, there you go. Fucking $20 a year. Like wherever the fuck you live. Like, you know, you're paying the equivalent of
not
20
even
USD.
Wherever the fuck you live. This thing's not available in a lot of countries already.
That is so fucking
not in the Philippines or Malaysia or any of those places. It's
God.
It's Now this seems pretty fucked up.
This thing blows like when we found out Helldivers can't be played across the across the world, like many countries. Like just there's a whole fucking list of them. Like
those East Asia countries just get fucked by all these things.
But it's
they can't,
so funny,
dude. They
like,
can't play no
Japan's in
Helldivers.
East Asia.
They can't play no fucking Nintendo music on their Nintendo apps. You gotta fucking hit up Cat and just like be like, yo, your life sucks. Y'all ain't got no Helldivers, no fucking Nintendo music.
It's like you have to get a VPN, like just to do anything over there. Like that's also even more money that you have to pay for just to do anything. Jesus.
At least she has Helldivers music on YouTube.
It's like at least you have YouTube.
Because Helldiver do what Nintendo don't. No, it is lukewarm because it is good and bad at the same time, and it's a pretty mixed library of games. They have like no Mario 64 music, but Star Fox 64.
Yeah, I mean they got Ocarina of Time, which again, like to be fair, deserves to be there like as a headliner.
I know, but like, where's my Dire Docks?
Yeah,
Nintendo, you can suck my Dire cock for not putting fucking Dire Docks on your fucking music. They're definitely gonna add it. If there's any one where it's like
no, they are.
They're adding this gradually. That's definitely gonna be the one that they're gonna do.
There's they have confirmed that Wii Sports 64, Skyward Sword, Splatoon 2, Wind Waker, and Diddy Kong's Quest, and F-Zero X.
Really? Where are you reading all that?
It's in this article.
Oh.
It's from NintendoLife.com.
Oh.
Sounds like a bunch of fucking nerds.
Hell yeah. But yeah, the spoiler prevention thing, it has some pretty neat features. I like the thumbnails that they have for like when you select the music. Like it actually has like nice stills from the game and like the spot of the game where like the thing plays as well. It's just, no web browser version of the... Oh, I see what you're talking about. It says music added over time and in the YouTube video as well. And then Wii Sports appears, Mario 64, Skyward Sword, Splatoon 2, Wind Waker, DKC 2. Oh yeah, I think it's most of the ones you listed. Yeah, it's all the same ones. I guess that's where the article got it from. So yeah, the first one I listened to was Steam Gardens, which is for you Mario fans, that's from Mario Odyssey. I don't think Dennis ever played that game, but it's a really cool jazzy theme. It's like a really nice jazzy Mario Odyssey.
The Switch?
Yeah,
I played it.
You played Mario Odyssey? Oh,
yeah,
did you play in the Wooded Kingdom, the one that's in like the biodome, like the grass area and like the woods?
Thing. The area
with all the
that
piranha plants spitting like purple goo and shit.
Oh, I don't remember. It was a while ago.
Okay, well that's the song I listened to basically, and yeah, that game's like fucking 7 years old. It turned 7 years old recently, and I'm like, fuck you. No, it's not. Don't say that.
Do you want to know something, David? You want to know where the Nintendo Music app is right now, as far as the Apple's App Store's top charts, as far as their apps?
Where is the Nintendo Music app numbers wise on the App Store and Play Store charts, Dennis?
Number 1.
Really?
Yeah. It passed Spotify.
I guess everybody already has Spotify.
Yeah, which is
that's way more impressive. That's way less impressive than it sounds. But it goes to show how much of a demand there was for this. It goes to show, Dennis, people don't want to have to pirate shit if they don't have to. People want to listen to things through official mediums, except you companies suck so much that you just fuck it up in all sorts of various ways. I can't even speak. We're both so tired. It's like 11:15 as we're recording this. This is the latest we've recorded in a long time. And so people want to listen to these things through official mediums if they can, and this is good. You can listen to it in the background without any like advanced membership you have to pay for, besides the Switch Online membership, which a lot of the people who were gonna download this app already have. So it's really not that big of a deal. Like I don't see anybody really complaining about that too much. It's like it was either this or you'd be paying for it regardless. And it's the same like fees that you'd be paying. It's less money that you pay for Spotify. Because Spotify's like 10, used to be $10 a month. Then they bumped it up to 11. Now it's fucking 12, and that's a monthly. The Switch Online membership, like, you know, I know Dennis says it's not good bang for your buck. I think for how shitty it is worth bang for your buck, because it's only $20 for the entire year. It's like, if this shit was like $10 a month, then fuck you, hell no, that wouldn't be worth it in the slightest. It definitely is for all the stuff you get for it, beyond like the classic games and save data backup, the membership only rewards that you get, like the online theming and whatnot. It's like, I think $20 a year is more than worth it. I think the expansion pack is too much. Like $50 a year is too fucking much, but for what that is, it's like, oh, but N64 games and Game Boy games and Genesis. It's we get it.
I'll just stick to Project 64. Thanks. Nintendo's like already cocking their sniper rifles and training them on my fucking forehead as we speak.
I don't know, man. You don't look like Timmy's dad. It was the profile picture. Profile picture of Gilva Sunner. It was just Timmy Turner's father for some reason. So yeah, you don't look like him. So they're not gonna fucking. But 2 years later, after taking down the biggest fucking, not even just Nintendo, just video game music, mostly Nintendo, if I'm being honest, music channel. And then taking down Acro extensions. I think Brawl BRSTM is gone. It sucks. And I'm hoping that they're not going to use this app as an excuse to just take down more, because now you're going to be taking down channels with music that y'all haven't uploaded on here yet. Oh, because we're going to do it later. But it's Nintendo. They probably will, because they already shut down ROMs that they have of classic games and whatnot. Classic games, and even just games that you can't play anymore because the 3DS and Wii U eShops and Wii eShops being shut down. They take those down without giving us an alternative way to play them. There are certain games that you literally can only play now by pirating them, because Nintendo took them off their stores and their online stores. So I don't see why they're going to do anything different with the music. You know, one thing people are complaining about a lot on here as well is that they're not crediting the artist for the music. They're just saying what game it's from. Some people are kind of tight about that. And, you know, even Sega does the same thing. A lot of the songs on there are just Sega Sound Team. But then the ones specifically, like, with, like, the guitar and rock music and stuff, they say, what is the fucking guitarist name from Japan that they use? Junsen something? Junsen. I forget his name. He's credited as well in this. So it's like, that's another
example. Jun Senoa.
Thank you. Sega doing what Nintendo don't there, I guess, but...
Damn, he's 54. Looks great. Bro looks 35. With a few wrinkles, but you know, like, yes.
Well, if you like him so much, why don't you get married?
Fuck off.
So yeah, this is good and bad. I'd like to say it's like one step forward with the other foot halfway bent backwards on the stair behind you. I think if they add like a nice, great way to basically have a Spotify functionality, because I've always wanted to be, I never even thought about listening to Nintendo music in the car, because I always have to go to YouTube and like search it up specifically and whatnot, and now I don't have to do that. Now I have a place where I can just make my own playlists of it as they add it, but again, as they add it. So this is good and bad. There really is no other way to describe it. There's good things about this. It has some pretty nice features. But a lot of it is stuff we could have already done before, like just by listening to the stuff on YouTube and stuff, and also curating our playlists on there. But I suppose it'll be less work to do it on an app like this, as well as having something that can more easily play in the background without having to pay for a YouTube Premium membership or any shit like that. So, interesting. I mean, how did you feel about this being like, you think this is something that symbolizes the end of the Switch's lifespan, which we already know is true? I mean,
yeah.
Like I mentioned before, Nintendo is the only company that would have their whole hardware leaked and then drop a fucking alarm clock. And, which is already redundant-ass technology. And then finally releasing this music app that we've been begging them to do for years.
And now that it's here, it's kind of like, alright, you know. Don't love it, don't hate it. It's like, you know, if this didn't come out yesterday, I would not have cared. Like, you know, and I still don't. Like, it's just, you know, if you guys are one of the many or few who just were praying to God, like praying to the Nintendo gods for them to finally release this thing, or if you sacrificed your, you know, unborn child or whatever, had the whole pentagram on the floor and like, just sacrificed it for the Nintendo gods to finally have this thing come out, then, more power to you, I guess. I'm happy for you. If nothing else, I'm happy for you. I just don't give a shit.
Yeah. At least we have a legal way of listening to Nintendo music now.
That's true,
that could be more convenient. I'm just worried that, really my biggest fear is that they're just going to shut down, a lot of the channels even faster now. No, even faster is what I'm saying. And then if they do, it's going to be shit that they're not even going to add on here. Because the first thing I look for the Mario RPG playlist. I wanted to listen to the Mario RPG music. And of course, that game's not on there yet. So, it just... Now it's bittersweet because it's it's the best way I could describe it is that it's bittersweet. We have legal ways of listening to Nintendo music now. Only the ones that they say is okay. Not all of it. Just the ones that we say you can listen to.
Yep.
Yeah.
So guys, what have we learned today? Basically, download all of the fucking Nintendo music you can right now off of YouTube, because maybe within 5 years' time, there's a good chance we may just never see any of that. Or maybe, I don't know, you could go to archive.org. I don't know. Archive's got everything. Legit. They got everything.
Didn't it get hacked?
Did they?
Yeah, the Wayback Machine.
Was it the Wayback Machine?
Yeah,
no, I'm talking about archive.org. That site actually even had old Filthy Frank videos. Some fucking champion actually took those and put them up there for the whole world to see. Essentially. Yeah,
there were some videos that got blocked of Filthy Franks that I think got re-uploaded by some people.
Mm-hmm.
That's just bittersweet too.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, yeah, because it was just a lot of stuff that I think Joji just didn't want out there. Because I think there came a time where he very much just kind of really wanted to focus he wanted to focus on his music, but then he realized this is not what the fans want, so then he just focused more on Filthy Frank, so on and so forth. Everyone knows the lore.
Balls on my face.
Balls on my face.
That's what Balls on my face was about. I'm serious. It was about him wanting to do other stuff, and then the fans just wanting to be. Then the fans just Filthy Frank just keeps interrupting Pink Eye, and he's like, balls on my face, balls on my face. That was supposed to be an allegory for his fans just wanting the silly shit when he wanted to make meaningful music. At least I think it was. I don't know. This is bittersweet too, in the sense that or not bittersweet, I should say. This is messed up in the sense that Nintendo's not even crediting the artists on this app because I think they think no one will care or that they don't care. And on these music channels, music channels that are about music preservation and whatnot, Gil Vasunner, he always credited the artists. It's kind of shitty when you really think about it.
Don't they even have the composers on the video game's credits too?
Well, of course.
I'm pretty sure they do, right?
Of course they're in the credits. I'm just saying.
So it's why don't they fucking do it? Then why don't they do it on the app then?
Because
it's not that much. It's not that hard.
No,
it just seems it's either they're very forgetful, or maybe maybe this might be closer to home. Maybe it's closer to the truth. Maybe they just don't give a shit. Could be either or. In Nintendo's case, it's just obviously we knew from the very beginning. Nintendo has its own way of doing things, and it's the very classically Japanese company way of doing things, and it's for a lot of the shit they do now, it's kind of it's an abusive relationship. It's we're getting fucked in the ass, but then it's we always, for whatever reason, we just come back for more because it's unironically, we do love Nintendo, but at the same time, it's if we could, we would probably get into a lot of fights with Nintendo too. If we're talking about just a classic old domestic, it's it'd be that kind of relationship that we have with them. There's plenty of obviously Nintendo fans that just gladly bend over and spread their ass cheeks and just want Nintendo to rail them in the ass because it's whoa, but I love Daddy Nintendo. Don't you love these half-baked Pokemon games? Don't you love a game that lags to infinitum thing whenever you even just fucking walk? How the fuck, like, you know, again, I'm getting sidetracked here. Like,
No, not really. It's relevant in the sense that, the more I think about this shit kind of sucks. And again, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here in terms of them using this as an excuse to completely wipe their music from the internet. I think people are getting a little ahead of themselves because there's still a lot of music channels that they could have shut down. And the worst part about this is that even this app, or the worst part about this for Nintendo, I should say, is that this app is not going to stop people from doing it. Like, people are still going to fucking just put them back up, and there'll be other music channels to, like, take their fucking place and shit. So this doesn't even, like, solve that problem for Nintendo that they think it does, really. So, as shitty as this is, in terms of not crediting artists, only listening to the music that they pick and they curate, which is very fucking a little tyrannical, really, or authoritarianistic, really. I think we'll still be fine, even if they shut down some other channels, because then other people are going to come in and, like, boot it up again. Then again, though, a lot of people downloaded this already. Like you mentioned, it's #1 on the App Store already.
Yep. Which, to be fair, like, I think this came out around the same time that, believe it or not, Pokemon Pocket TCG also came out. And, like, that is actually doing pretty well in the App Store as well. So I think, honestly, it's a pretty good fucking day for Nintendo. Like, or at least a good week for them, truthfully. Like, I mean, again, I even downloaded that app too. So it's like, I'm not going to sit here and, like, be hypocritical. But it's like, but I will be critical. You know what I mean? Not moist. Yeah. But I will be critical. Like, yeah. I'm not moist critical. Like, I don't have his fucking just, his charisma. You know what I mean? Like, I can't talk like this, okay? Like, the Nintendo App Store is a great piece of I don't even know what.
You mean his charisma, like, based off of his lack of?
Look, man,
like, he's so uncharismatic that he's charismatic.
You may consider that, uncharismatic. I think that is his charisma, though.
I don't think you flatter him that much, Dennis. Honestly, you're trying to adopt his personality faster than Angelina Jolie adopts kids.
You're doing very well. Now,
my voice is already low. It's cheating. Like,
pretend you're Hugh Neutron talking about the Nintendo Music app.
Why would you ask me to do my Hugh impression at this ungodly hour?
Alright, never mind, don't do that.
I'm gonna fucking wake my fucking family if I do that shit.
Your dad will probably be coming out with the belt into your room. Yeah, don't do it. Sorry.
I'd love to.
Sorry, guys. It's a little too
late. Alright, Critical. I can't do it. It's just his voice is, like, just the right amount of. His voice is not only sort of high-ish pitched, it's high pitched and resonant, so it's just fucking loud.
Yeah, exactly.
He just sounds like he's shouting.
Shatter the windows. It's gonna shatter the windows.
He sounds like he's shouting even when he isn't. But yeah. Rest in peace, Gilvis Sonner. Rest in peace, Acro Extensions. Rest in peace, Yoshi VGM. Rest in peace, Brawl BRSDM. All you lovely music channels. You died for nothing. Because they're not even going to upload the tracks. You died
for $20.
They're not even going to upload the tracks that you fucking uploaded on here. Oh. Fingers crossed that they don't just go on a mass shutting down spree after this, but meh. At least we know why their songs aren't on Spotify.
Now it's called Mario the Pie.
Yeah, there's no O thing that really goes with it. Like, what is Nintendobo?
Mariotify. That's stupid.
That was horrible, and you should feel bad.
Yeah,
for
I
even
do feel
fucking
bad.
Saying that.
I'd honestly go to sleep early tonight.
Yeah, I worked my ass off today too. Thank God I'm not working tomorrow, but I do have to work Saturday now. Yay! I guess my concluding thoughts is, Nintendo making a music app that requires their online service instead of, I don't know, like, and like Nintendo making their own service because of how overprotective they are of their IPs and how authoritarianistic they can even really be. Paying those server fees to Google or whoever it is they have to pay to, like, you know, host.
It's probably Google.
It's probably Google, yeah, like a lot of these companies are, to host, like, you know, their own music on, instead of just fucking putting them on YouTube for fucking free to advertise your game. No, you had to use it to try to squeeze even more people on the Switch Online membership, which, can you even get if you don't have a Switch? What if people just want to listen to the music who just aren't Switch owners, which is probably a very few amount of people.
They're being paywalled by $300 potentially. That is a bit fucked up. That's a bit fucked up, Nintendo.
Like, when I thought it wasn't fucked up at first because I thought it was just you just need a Nintendo account, which you can have, I think, without having a Switch. Like, you don't need that. But no, I looked at the thing. I looked at the fucking, like, trailer. It says Switch Online. It says included with an active Switch Online membership. Nintendo Switch Online membership and Nintendo account required. Not available in all countries. Internet incompatible smart device required to use the app. Data charges. Blah, 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 blah. Fucking... there's just so much better ways they could have done this. But the thing is, it's Nintendo, and they have go fuck yourself in a hole, and then take a stick that you found at the bottom of that hole that was attached to the dead guy's hand that was at the bottom of that very hole, and has tetanus inside of it, and fuck yourself with that too. Money. That is the money these people have. So if we want to waste money just, like, paying for servers that we don't need to fucking pay for to put our music on, so we could just potentially squeeze money out of people who already have these fucking Switch accounts and probably aren't going to make one just for the app. Really, I don't know what the logic there is. Then fine by us if it becomes a potential loss. Either way, we'll shut these channels down, regardless if the app takes off or not. And it already did, so...
The ninjas have been sent.
So that's my thought. This is, like... Really, there's one YouTube comment I saw said it the best. This is simultaneously the most fucking finally announcement and literally why announcement at the same time.
We said it before, guys.
Try out the app yourself. Check it out. See if you like it. See if it's not enough. See if you like some of the music that's on there so far. It's very bare bones right now. Hopefully they add more. I mean, but the way Nintendo has been, I just really see it going down the path of... They're going to very slowly update music to this thing until they just either abandon it or, you know, people just stop caring and just go back to listening to whatever Nintendo song they want at any given point on the internet. One step forward, fuck, I'm tired. One step forward, two steps back.
I think it's like more than 2 steps back. I think it's like a gigantic like backflip over the cliff that was like, you know, that you took a step from, truthfully. Like, this is so much collateral like thing like attached with this thing being out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go make the thumbnail for this episode early while listening to Nintendo music on YouTube.com. But before I do that, you can check us out on YouTube.com as well.
I love you, man.
Specifically YouTube.com/Nintoonist. Likewise, homie. Yeah. Double D Experience. It's the podcast you're listening to right now, in case that wasn't clear. Check us out wherever you get your podcasts, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. Leave us a 5-star review on Spotify. Helps us out with our SEO on that platform a lot. And then if you want to listen where most of you listen, again, right here, YouTube.com.
Go check us out on Nintendo Music.
That's not a thing. We're not on Nintendo Music. We've never made music for a Nintendo game.
Nintendo, put us on there.
Right,
get some podcasts going.
Shut up, everybody.
Get some Joe Rogan podcast deals on your app.
Everybody ignore him. Yeah, and leave us a comment down below as to what you think about Nintendo music. We'd love to hear it, as well as a comment on Spotify as well, assuming I remember to type it into Spotify for podcasters. We're done cutting it nice and short this week. Dennis,
also,
what do you got?
One thing that I will say that is a good thing about this app: no ads. That's all I have to say. All right.
That'd be kind of ridiculous if we were paying for a Switch Online membership and then like we get fucking ads for it. That would be insane.
You know, the thing is that I can still see Nintendo doing that. That's how fucked up it is.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
If you want no ads, you need a new Nintendo Music Luigi edition or some fucking bullshit.
Yeah, that's what they'd call it.
The Super Mario,
Stop talking. I want to go to bed.
What the fuck is YouTube? Like, oh yeah, YouTube Red. The Nintendo Red.
Shut the fuck up.